What's up, Jada, or Yang as I know ya? Glad to be streaming. So today we're going to do another podcast. We're going to do another one with reviewing 911 calls, real 911 calls. It's going to be from a YouTube channel called True 911 Calls. They're posting stuff all the time. Pretty good stuff, pretty informative stuff. Be sure to check them out. When I have my podcast on YouTube and Spotify, it'll be in the descriptions, of course. And I will post the link to this one here while we're chatting. Another week where I couldn't get a guest on, but hey, that's fine. We can review some calls from different areas and see how they are. Get that link in here for y'all. So we're going to go to another video here. The pizza thing. I've heard this a lot. It's a big thing that's happened on social media. So we'll go over like one of these calls.
What is the address of your emergency?
Yeah, I would like to order a pizza off of Stuckey Heroes.
Okay. Are you aware you're...
Funny story about the pizza thing. So when this like first started being a thing for people to do, I was working in the ambulance 911 center, and our direct to the emergency line number was one number off from the local Domino's. So we'd get the pizza calls all the time. If you haven't heard, it's floated around social media about if you're in an abuse or a dangerous situation where you can't really talk and you have to talk in code, you can call 911 and ask for a pizza, and then like the dispatcher will key in and ask you which toppings mean certain things. And that's not like a nationally planned thing. That's not something that is like necessarily taught or recognized all around. It's the main point of why the pizza thing became a thing is the dispatcher realized, okay, you keep asking for a pizza even though I've asked if you're where you're calling 911. So they came up with different questions as to like, if you're in a situation where you can't talk, can you ask for mushrooms? Yeah, I want mushrooms. Okay, so now the dispatcher knows that that person can't talk about what's actually going on in a plain language format, right? So as a dispatcher, you're trained to just kind of key in on differences and really put your effort and empathy into each call to try and make sure everything's okay. So that's where the pizza thing came from. And so that's sometimes what we'll do. We'll key in that something's not right, which nowadays with text to 911, it doesn't happen as much because people can easily just text, even from third-party apps that they can hide from, whoever's with them. They can hide that app from them so that way they're not seeing it. So yes, text to 911 is, I don't know if it's officially rolled out through the whole nation yet, but most PSAPs or primary or public safety answering points, which is like the main 911 center, most of those will have capabilities for text to 911. We also have a technology now to where we can send you links to things so you can add pictures, video, things like that. So that way we can hand it over to the officers for like what's actually happening before they even get there.
Calling 911?
Yes, I'm sure I'm calling to that number. Trying to get a pizza?
What address are we going to?
So, got my location, please.
You don't know your location?
No, basically no. I'm stuck in here. It won't take me back home. I'm trying to, but trying to get pizza, pepperoni extra cheese.
At first, the dispatcher was confused. But as the caller insisted, the dispatcher quickly picked up on what was happening. This wasn't a pizza order. The woman on the line was trapped. She couldn't reveal her exact location, but her message was clear. She was in danger and unable to leave.
Okay. How many people are there? Tell me how.
Just me and him.
Do you have any weapons?
No,
Do you know his name?
I do not. I don't know see it like
That's okay. That's okay. What's your name?
I would like to order extra cheese pizza.
See, okay.
Okay.
So
Did
this
you
is
heard?
where I would also say, from a situational awareness standpoint, if you're in a situation where you need to call for help in this type of manner, think about and have some situational awareness as to what actual pizza people would ask for. Because when you make a pizza order, realistically, they are going to ask you for a name because they got to know who they're giving the pizza to. Realistically, they're going to have an address so they know where they're taking the pizza to. I think this person's making it a little obvious that they're calling someone other than pizza, right? Um, I would say with like situational awareness, you can be like, "Hey, I'm ordering us a pizza. What's the location we're going to be at so they can get it to us?" You know, something like that. Or "Hey, did you want to pick it up?" Okay, yeah. Well, I'm calling the Domino's on this street. Okay, yeah, we can go pick it up from there. So that way the dispatcher can key in, oh, they're going to be going to this Domino's. I need to have some officers ready to get there. Just little things, little bits of situational awareness to know that whoever you're with, they're going to key in that maybe you're not ordering pizza because like they're still going to want your name for the pizza.
Just stay on the line with me, okay? I'm gonna get help out there to you. All right.
Dispatch was able to triangulate the phone's location and sent deputies into a vast field. Deputies scoured the expansive fields. Then they heard loud music echoing through the ferns. When they followed the sound, they came upon a horrific scene. A man was on top of a screaming woman, trying to assault her. The victim's desperate scream echoed. "He's trying to rape me. Can you help me?" Deputies immediately detained 27-year-old Luis Hernandez Moncayo and confronted the woman. One officer can be heard on the body cam telling the woman, "You're good, we're here." After the arrest, the victim revealed what had happened. She and Hernandez knew each other and had met for drinks earlier that night. At some point, his behavior shifted dramatically, becoming increasingly hostile and controlling. He prevented her from leaving and attacked her multiple times. With no way out, she devised the pizza ordering strategy to covertly alert police. Hernandez, who was in the U.S. illegally, now faces felony charges, including attempted sexual battery, battery by strangulation, and false imprisonment. He is also under an immigration detainer. On October 26, 2014, things quickly took a turn for the worst at a Florida home where Checkingston Sinclair and his 7-month pregnant wife, Laudwasa Argret, lived. Sinclair called 911 to say he had just committed a murder. The exchange between Sinclair and the dispatcher was calm on both sides, giving elaborate details on his wife's death.
911, please fire ambulance.
Yes, hello?
Hi, 911. Do you need the police or the ambulance?
Yes, ma'am. I need the police.
To what address? What's going on there?
A murder has been committed.
So yeah, this is kind of what I'm saying. Like somebody super calm like that, and the way he's kind of pausing, thinking about it. Yeah, there's been a murder here. A lot of times you can clue in like something else is going on, or he's about to confess to it. It does happen actually quite often. We've had 2 that I can think of off the top of my head, even in my agency, where it's been kind of like that. Person super calm. Usually they know what they've done. They meant to do it. They, for whatever reason. And part of being a dispatcher is being calm, and just rolling with it, right? Because you're going to get more information out of somebody if you're nice to them and you're calm, cool, collected, and you treat them. I mean, they're a real person. It doesn't matter at that point. It really doesn't fully matter what they did. I mean, they're still a person. So if you talk to them like a regular person, in my experience, I found you usually get more information out of them because you're just talking, right? You're not putting pressure on them. You're not yelling. You're not matching their energy, so to speak. You're just kind of having a conversation. And that's another thing, What would you think if you called 911? Like, if you're freaking out and then the dispatcher's like, "Oh my gosh, really?" It's not gonna go good. You need to make sure you have calm on both ends as much as you can anyway. But yeah, just talking to people like they're people. It works 90% of the time.
Oh, the murder has been committed by who?
By me, man.
By you?
Yes, ma'am.
Who did you murder?
I murdered my wife
When?
around 7 this morning.
Get some
Okay,
sleep,
what's
Yang.
your
We'll see you
name?
later, man.
Yes.
Okay. Is she still there?
Yes, she's still here.
What did you kill her with?
I got told with the gun.
You shot her? Where'd you shoot her?
Shot her in the head.
I mean, honesty is key, I suppose. A little bit too many pauses, but
Is she
other
in
than
the
that, really
bathroom?
good.
Is she in the bedroom? Where's she at?
She's in the bedroom.
She's in the bedroom.
Cool. Keep him talking.
Do you still have the gun?
Yes, I still do have the gun.
Do you have it in your hand or where's it at?
On the dining table.
So that's a situational awareness thing for the officers there, asking where the weapon is. Even if it wasn't this particular situation, let's say it was a disturbance or a fight going on, I usually like to ask if there's any weapons involved and where they're at and everything. People on 911 usually don't like the questions. Some people love it, some people hate it, but I like to try and explain why I'm asking certain questions sometimes, so that way maybe they'll open up and give me a little more. With like fights and stuff, the reason I want to know if there's weapons is I need to know what the officers need to be ready for, because you don't want them rocking in guns blazing when it's just people yelling. Like, people use the word fight, but they're just like yelling at each other. But then you also don't want the officers just strolling up ready to talk and there's gunshots going off or something, just kind of keeping everybody aware of what's going on and ready for what's going on. So that way one side or the other doesn't get too keyed up and makes the situation worse than it should be. So yeah, knowing where weapons are is a big thing, especially in a situation like that. We don't know if he's going to become violent again whenever, click the wrong screen. Sorry. Whenever the officers get there, you don't know if he may become violent again. A lot of times also with people, with self-exit strategies, a lot of people find that it's easier to complete that with cops. So just something that they need to be aware of when they're rolling up on scene, which they're trained to be tactically minded like that. Or it really should be.
Alright, we've got somebody coming out there to talk to you.
Good
Why
way
did
to
you
word
do
that.
this?
Good way to word that.
We got into an argument and she came at me with the knife.
Halfway
So
feel
you
that's
shot
like
her?
not too useful, but maybe.
So I got to defend myself. She was just
So another thing that's really good about getting people to talk like this is I mentioned in the last podcast and stream that if somebody's not willing to make a report or statement on something, there's really limits on what the officers can do unless you get evidence like this. And sometimes you can help officers by getting recordings and things like this on the phone, especially if it's like the suspect or perpetrator on the phone that you're on the phone with. You can keep them talking. All 911 lines most definitely should be recorded and are, to my knowledge. If they're not, that's probably something an agency can get in trouble for, right? It's the national standard. They need to be recorded. So you can get that recording and you can just keep them talking and saying as much as they feel comfortable doing on the recording. All it's going to do is help your officers out and help the case out later.
she was stabbing with the knife.
Okay.
This call goes on for a while.
What was your wife's name?
Something slightly awkward to mention and kind of morbid. Usually if family believes that another one of their family members has passed or something like this where they may have done it, just a slight wording thing that, I mean, in the moment sometimes you forget or you don't do it, and it's more of a subconscious thing than it is like you have to do it every time. But something that you might mention with family when you're talking to family is what is their name versus what was. It- I don't want to say it gives them false hope, but it sometimes is more comforting instead of letting the reality set in was versus.
Okay. How long have y'all been together?
7 months.
7 months?
So at this point, the dispatcher is definitely getting into, she's asked just about all the questions she thinks she can. And now just keeping the caller talking. Make sure he doesn't leave the location. Keep him talking till the officers get there. Keep talking. Keep rolling with as much information as you can get. Also, if for some reason the situation changes and this turns into a negotiation situation, asking questions like this can really help the negotiators when they get on scene. How long was the relationship? What are things you like to do? What are things that you're into in particular? Little things that just humanize people a little more, and you can make conversation and talk to them easier. Anything like that is definitely helpful.
Do you fight often?
Oh, good one. Yeah. See, so that's good. That's good to know, because then the negotiator be like, "Yeah, man, I know it's it sounds bad. Sometimes negotiators have to bend the truth sometimes, right? Or sometimes even be a little more real with someone than what they would normally be." Um, yeah, the negotiator can definitely use that. Like, "Oh yeah, I get how it is fighting, man. I'm married too," and just make it about the person that you're trying to negotiate with. And this is just like, I don't like the term because it's kind of cliche and whatnot, but like verbal judo is what a lot of people call it, right? Being able to talk to people and bring them down and talk to them just face to face as a human and make sure they don't escalate anything further on either side.
Okay. How do you spell your name? Okay. And your phone number is 37?
How long would it take for me to get out here now?
It
You
doesn't take
can
them
hear phones in the background and everything. So this is telling me that this is not a huge center. This is one of those centers kind of like what I work in, where you do everything from start to finish. It's not like separate jobs. You take the 911 call, you dispatch the officers, you keep the caller on the line, and you maintain contact on the radio and everything. Um, so yeah, she's actually doing really, really good job on all this.
very long. Sorry. Can you just not go anywhere near the gun? Do you want to go maybe stand by the front door?
The gun is over there, but down table. I know that the gun is. I'm not going to that thing right now. I got the police officer come over and just handle it.
Okay, well, they're going to be there in just a little bit.
So while him being calm indicates that he may have some premeditated stuff, or like, I don't want to say, I'm choosing the wrong words here, of course, but he may have like some blame or purposely done this, but also can kind of hear like the defeat and the tiredness in his voice. So, I mean, it very well could have been like, yeah, I'm just tired of all this. She came at me with the knife and I decided that I wasn't going to let it happen this time. Could be very well be the case.
I'm still here. I'm still here. Okay. It's up to you. If you want to stay on the phone with me, that's fine. Okay. Alright, thank you.
She did really good keeping him on as long as she did.
This isn't just a wallet, it's a rare find. There's something
Again,
different
sorry.
about owning something almost
No.
nobody else has.
YouTube premium out. I'll get around to it, okay? I promise. Sometime. Maybe.
Account of
Possibly.
how his wife got a steak knife from the kitchen and chased him around their apartment before he shot her. This incident allegedly happened right after an argument between the couple over a text message sent to Argrid's cell phone around 6:30 a.m.
That's how it be.
Sinclair said he chucked his wife's cell phone in a toilet before she snapped and fetched a knife from the kitchen. He further disclosed that Argrid chased him throughout the house. After arriving in the bedroom, the man grabbed a handgun. He and his wife exchanged a few words, then Sinclair fired the first shot.
He looked
According
real
to the
tired in
shooter, the bullet grazed Argrid as she fell to the floor. When she got up and came at him again, Sinclair fired again, fatally shooting her in the head. He claimed that he was acting in self-defense. Detectives combing through the crime scene have since argued otherwise.
His version of accounts and what we saw at the crime scene were completely inconsistent.
The detectives noticed that the pregnant woman was shot in the back of the head, not the front. After questioning him about it, Sinclair admitted to the detectives that he wanted to kill Argrid. Neighbors also reported hearing screaming and gunshots. Her mother recalled how much her daughter loved people.
Was asking, for change or whatever, and LaToisa said, well, I don't have any money on me. I have my piece I just went and bought. She went down into the Little Caesars. And I said, LaToisa, you need to eat. You're pregnant. She said, Ma, I can go buy another one. And that's just who she was.
Sinclair was charged with first-degree premeditated murder, murder of an unborn child, and tampering with evidence. On trial, Assistant State Attorney Brandon White said, "This wasn't just a murder, this was an execution." It was discovered that Sinclair had staged the crime. The accused waited at least 3 hours before calling 911. A crime scene investigator testified that the blood spatters from the gunshot wound and other physical evidence at the scene revealed that Argrid's body had been moved and the knife placed near her hand. Further evidence against the 25-year-old showed that he sent a text message to a friend, saying he wouldn't be able to participate in fantasy football that season. Sinclair also texted his mother and brother, saying he loved them. After a 90-minute deliberation, the jury found him guilty of first-degree premeditated murder, murder of an unborn child, and tampering with evidence.
Next one.
A DoorDash driver finishes a food delivery. 2 minutes later, a 15-year-old is shot dead. The shooter stays behind and says it was self-defense.
Charlotte 911, do you need police, fire, or medic?
Police, we had shots fired in front of our house.
All right, sir. May I have an address, please, sir?
It's right in front of Harris Teeter on 6th Street.
All right, sir. Repeat that address again, please, for verification.
Okay, the front of the building is... But the shots were fired right in front of Harris Teeter, which is on 6th and Pine. They took shots.
And how many shots did you hear?
I heard 3, possibly 4. Yeah.
How long ago did you hear the last shot?
About 3 minutes ago. My son just ran in the house. There's security down Harris Teeter. We're not going to go outside and check it out, though.
I didn't say go check it out, sir. Okay. And
That's a burnout dispatcher for you. I didn't say go check it out. People hear things that they want to hear sometimes on 911. We're not telling you to go check it out. We're just asking if you know. A lot of times, instead of saying, "Oh, I didn't ask you to go check it out," I'll just be like, "Hey, yeah, we're just asking. We're just trying to get as much information as we can. You don't have to go outside." But there's times you can get frustrated. It's a frustrating job. But still, stuff like that is how you get written up, which creates more burnout and just it creates more issues.
did you see anybody
Not to
running
do
away
that.
or asking for help, sir?
Like a dude in like a vest, he was like standing right there, and he started like walking away.
He
So somebody shot out there. Okay, so he saw somebody get shot.
But did he see a description of him? Did he see the person leaving the scene?
I just parked and I heard it and I sprinted away.
All right, sir. Did you see a description of the vehicle?
There was no vehicle I could see.
All right, sir. And did you want to speak to police whenever they came out?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go out inside and talk to him.
Did you want to speak to police whenever they came out, sir?
That's also another question that, for some reason, people, when I ask at work, people get upset. It's just something we always ask at the end of every call, whether it's loud music or whatever. Did you want contact with an officer? Basically, do you want to make a statement or report? Of course, the police are limited on what they can do if they don't have a statement or report, if they can't find anything else or any other probable cause. But we just always ask because, we'll have people call on loud music 8 different times within, 2 weeks. And they're just all kinds of upset that nothing's being done. It's like, well, I can't answer that question for you. I'm in the 911 center. So do you want to talk to the officer that goes out and maybe explain to you why or why not they haven't issued them a citation? Or, the police can explain that to you. I can't. I'm a 911 dispatcher. I don't know the every in and out of their job and how they handle things, or why they do or don't do some things, because every officer is also different. So that's why we always ask if you want contact or not. It's just a question we always ask. And for some reason, it upsets people.
Yes, we'll talk to him.
And I do have to ask you these questions, sir, for officer safety. Does anybody have any weapons? Do you have any weapons?
No.
Anybody under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No.
All right.
I hear him coming.
All right, sir. I have no properly streets, correct?
That's correct.
All right, sir. I have that call incident for service and police to be dispatched as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you.
The first 2 voices
Dispatcher
are
sounds
neighbors,
a little sick.
just blocks apart. They've heard something, but no one's sure what. Fireworks, gunshots, a scuffle in the street. Then comes a third report. This time,
Let me tell you, you may be someone that goes out and sports shoots every weekend. You may have been in the military. You may have all the contact in the world with guns, and your cousin owns a fireworks stand. There's no reliable way for you to know if it's fireworks or gunshots. People will tell you all the time, oh, it's for sure gunshots. Like, I know the difference. With acoustics and everything, it's really hard to tell sometimes. Sometimes there's a different cadence to it, but either way, call it in. Doesn't hurt. Dispatchers may be slightly annoyed, but they'll get over it. They'll do what they need to do, right? Just thought I would share that. Just kind of funny to me.
someone sees it. A man, silver handgun, walking slowly beside a red van.
Charlotte 911, do you need police, fire, or medic?
Police, please.
Where do you need police at?
West 7th Street.
You said West 7th Street, correct?
Yes.
Is there an apartment number?
We don't need anyone to our apartment specifically, but there is a guy with a gun who's like firing it right outside of our condo complex.
Okay, does anyone need medical attention?
We weren't sure. We're trying to stay away from the windows. We just saw him with the gun outside the window, and then we like went into a different room. We don't know if he shot anyone.
And you just firing rounds?
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Oh, we hear
and this is
sirens
on
now.
West 7th Street?
Yeah.
Okay. And there's no apartment associated, just in...
Yeah, it's on the street. I don't know who he was near. Yeah, there's sirens now.
And so unknown if he was like shooting at anyone or any...
Yeah, we're not sure.
Okay. And then did you get a description of him? Is he white, black, Asian, or Hispanic?
Do you know, did you see anything about him?
I had a caller last night, whatever you want to call it. I get my days mixed up, working night shift and everything. That had gotten a little upset at me asking that question. Again, I might have mentioned it in the last one. When we do that, we're basically asking for a general description, so that way we know kind of a skin tone to look for along with clothing, because a lot of people's recollection isn't 100%. So you're trying to get as many descriptors as you can, so that way if you can match at least 2 or 3, you're like, the officer can say, oh yeah, I'm going to stop out and talk with him because he matches 2 out of the 3 things that dispatch said, he should have going on with him, right? So that's why they always ask that question. It's not for any other reason other than basic description, right? Because it's just, you try and be straightforward with it, right?
He was like outside of a red van. Looks like he was walking alongside of it.
He was walking alongside a red van. Do you know what he was wearing or anything? Bigger black suit, silver gun, silver handgun.
Okay, and you said it was a heavy-set black male, correct?
Yes.
Could you see what he was wearing?
Do you know what he was wearing? Do you remember? Please step away from the windows. Get away from the windows.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, don't put yourself in any harm's way.
Get away. Oh my God, sorry.
That's okay. It's okay if anything I ask you, you're more than welcome to say you don't know. Do you not know the clothing description?
What was he wearing? You know?
I think he had a hat on, dark clothes.
Yeah,
Because then you get into that too.
And you don't know the color of them?
You get into the fact that people don't know, but they're trying to give you an answer. I try to sometimes let people know that too. Like, it's okay if you don't know. I'm just asking so I can get as much as I can. If you don't know, don't try and make up something, right? Because then it may turn into a completely different person that's walking 2 blocks down from where we actually need to be looking. But they fit the description because you gave a random clothing description. So be as accurate as you can. If you don't know, be honest. Say you don't know. That's perfectly fine.
Do you know the actual color of what he was wearing, or you just know it was dark?
No, it's dark.
No, it's just
Which is still good. Still better than nothing.
Okay. And then do you know what direction he was walking in?
What direction was he going? Towards the park or away?
He was walking towards
Good question from the caller there.
Where was the car?
The car's right there, like where it is right now.
I don't know where it is. I didn't see it. What direction? Was he going towards Graham or was he going towards the park?
He was slowly walking towards the car. He like picked up a gun off the ground and was walking towards the car.
Where was the car? What direction was that?
Right where it is on 7th Street.
I don't know where the car is. I haven't seen it. That's 7th Street.
Yeah.
So he was walking what direction?
He was walking.
I love that the caller is doing most of the work here as far as like saying what the dispatcher really wants to say. Okay, which I don't know I'm not there. I don't know where the car is. Tell me which direction. I have had to tell people that before. Like, I'm not the officer that's out there, because they're like, oh no, stop, turn around, back up. It's over there. It's to your left. I'm not there. I'm not the officer. I'm not on a cell phone in that car. I don't know where you are, in relation to everything. So, and sometimes, even then though, if they do see an officer, I can get like what unit number they're in. That way I can tell that unit, hey, the caller's saying it's going to be to your left from where you're parked. But yeah, directions help, even if you don't know actual north, south, east, west. Pick a landmark, because a lot of times dispatchers will be familiar with the area. So if there's like a park on one side and a school on the other side, you can tell them, hey, he's walking towards the school. Okay, so I know that that's going to be east from where you're at. And directional stuff like that, it really does help out dispatchers.
The car is. So he was on 7th Street. Okay, north on 7th Street.
Yeah. Good call
And
outs.
did you see any other weapons?
As the kids say.
Did you see any other weapons? No.
Do you know if there's any drugs or alcohol involved?
Okay. So you heard this dispatcher ask it as
no.
well. We usually ask it when there's, I guess like when there's something like this or like a disturbance or a fight. We will ask those questions just to kind of know what we're walking into, because whether people believe it or want to accept it or not, drugs and alcohol affects the way people think. Some people are great conversational, nice people when they're away from it, and then when they're on it, it turns into a whole different animal. So that's something we like to key in on so that way the officers know, oh, I'm gonna have to deal with like 20 drunk people out here, and I know they're all gonna be upset and yelling, and it kind of gets them to where they can flip their mindset to whatever they're walking into. Um, it just helps them be aware and ready for situations like that.
So unknown for drugs and alcohol, correct?
Yeah,
Okay. Did
like
you want to
unknown, yeah.
Yeah. Did you want to meet with officers?
I think we're fine.
Yeah.
Unless they need this info. I mean, I'm sure that now that
Can
you
they
have the
call you
information,
if
they have the
needed?
information. Yeah.
Okay. And you said you heard sirens as well.
Yeah, I see the lights on the street. So they're on 7th Street right now. The
Okay.
police. I
All
think.
right. I do have that call for service center, and we'll get officers out there as soon as possible. Just make sure you're not putting yourself in any harm's way, and if anything else changes or escalates in the meantime, go ahead and give us a call back. Let us know, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Great. Of course. Thank you. Bye.
Yep. Bye.
By the time police arrive, 15-year-old Matthias Crockett is already dead. The man who shot him is 27-year-old Keshawn Boyd. He's still on scene, and he tells officers he pulled the trigger when the teen tried to steal his car. Police detain Keshawn and charge him with first-degree murder later that night. According to the official report, the shooter had just dropped off a food order when he saw someone, allegedly the teen, near his vehicle. Matthias, a freshman at West Charlotte High School, was unarmed. His family doesn't deny he may have made a bad choice that day, but they say it didn't warrant a death sentence. Keshawn had no prior criminal record and holds a valid concealed carry permit. His lawyer has argued that the shooting was an act of self-defense.
So I am on this channel. We are going to avoid politics. Okay. Just putting that out there right now. But that's of course one of the great debates is, did he have a right to protect his property? Because I mean, conceivably he wasn't in danger, but his property and his livelihood was. Just something to put in the back of your noggin and think about.
But the family disagrees, since he fired 7 shots rather than...
That's also, once again, nothing political involved. And you gotta have a level head and not let your anger get to you, whether you're like, especially police officer, you have an LTC, you're a dispatcher, anything where you have the ability to readily do harm, you need to try and keep your emotions in check, which is hard to do sometimes. Like some of the stressful calls, like some of these officers go through and everything.
Holding him for the police. His
kind of what I went through on the
Cheryl
ambulance.
Rod, says the teen had fallen.
You can get burnt out real quick, and emotions can get to you. It's just a reality of it. Everybody's human. Everybody also makes mistakes too. So I mean, it's just something which I think most adults, as they mature, realize that like things are not, definitely in this world, are not black and white. There is so much gray area and so much. People are just different, right? You gotta respect those differences.
Under the influence of the wrong people. The family believes social media may have played a role, warning other parents to stay alert and involved. Keshawn Boyd has remained in jail without bond since the night of the shooting. In early February, a grand jury returned a formal indictment for first-degree murder. Police say the investigation remains active.
So once again, this channel is True 911 Calls. Be sure to go check them out, show them some love. Watch some of their videos. When you watch their videos, come back with something to comment, some questions you have about different calls or the reason people do certain things. If you've experienced anything from calling 911 personally, reach out. Let me know what it is, and we'll go over it. We'll talk about it. We'll see how it goes down. I really appreciate you guys being here this week. Again, we're probably going to be here same bat time, same bat channel. Talking about some more calls. I'm going to try and get some more guests on here. I've been reaching out more, just kind of the local community, and we're going to try and get some people on, get to chatting with other people and other experiences, whether that's in the field, in city government, in 911, police, fire, whatever it may be. But again, I appreciate you guys coming out. We're going to play you some music here kind of as we exit and do an outro. I do apologize for our little mishap with the sound when we first got on. I know it didn't pick up the desktop sound immediately, but we'll fix that, okay? Again, appreciate you. We'll see you next time.